This is an account that I created for us. It's me. It's named the Fabulous Family. At the moment, has no paying plan, no payment plan, but I plan to add indicators there as something where everyone can watch at it, and also the analysis of the coins will be there. So we will start using this account because it's brand new and it has no setup on paper trading. And this way I will show you how to start setting up it. So in every version, paid or not, of TradingView, you have this tab here down called the trading panel. If you open it, you can add brokers. There are many brokers that you can add. The full list is on the TradingView page related to the brokers, but we will use the paper trading broker, which is not a real broker, but better a simulator. So we will have an account. We can use TradingView as a real platform to trade, like if we were trading indices or something else on these main brokers, or here on all these other brokers. To use cryptocurrencies with TradingView and brokers like this, the problem is that we don't have Binance and similar other, um, let's say, institutions, brokers, but we just have the main brokers that are related to all the trading. You can trade cryptocurrencies on Wanda, on Capital.com, on many others, but maybe it's not so optimized like Binance. So the first thing to do is to connect the paper trading account. So you connect this and they will give you, first of all, you will have some pop-ups as usual that will be related to your to do when you set up the account. And here you have a menu with the commission settings. Since we are using in general Binance, we will set up the Binance settings for the commission. So this is the Binance fee applied to spots, and it's the higher one on Binance, but could be very different on other exchanges. Generally, it's higher on other exchanges. I set up this. You can also get rid and not set up a commission setting here in the menu. When you are fine with your account and you want to start with another import, because here we start with the $100,000, which is similarly, many people will not have this availability. And to start the simulation, is better to start with something that we have. So we will start with $1,000. It will be a hard map to grow the account, but our let's say our goal for this kind of simulation will be to transform $1,000 in something or lose everything. Any kind of situation is valuable. If we lose everything, we can go homeless and start a new life on the road. In generally, it's better to avoid. If we win, we will be virtually rich. But you can also follow the trades that we are going to do here, and you can do yours. It's not a program that we are going strictly to follow, like me calling the trades and you following like the Hamelin Fluter with the rats. Not that goal. The goal is that you start using this pay-per-view to experience what I will explain to you now about strategies. And today we will start with the most common complex strategy that we generally use, which is the Ichimoku cloud, but with more details. And I will explain you how to optimize that strategy when you use it. So commission settings, raise the paper trading account to get to $1,000. On trading settings, it will appear the typical menu that is already available here in the gearbox or when you selected the options for the whole panel, and we can add other things. I generally don't use quite other modifications. We can get rid of show executions. These are arrows when we go for a trade that will be displayed on the screen. And maybe if you are doing analysis, it could be something that it's not so useful, and sometimes it's bad to see that. So once we have this paper trading set, we will have the orders here, the positions that we open when we trade, the history of the operations that we did. We can filter out things that are not related to our interest. Account history will be what we do in terms of opening with the profit and so on, and the trading journal to have some track of what we are trading if we want to use it. Once we have this setup completed, we can go and start our effective trade. Now I will use my personal account because I have not my trading view for the Fabulous Family, because there I have many other indicators. So I will switch here. The difference is nothing. I will connect another paper trading view account, paper trading resetting 2000 like everyone here, and start using this one. So reset 1000. At the moment, just one account is allowed. In the future, they plan to include more accounts. So for the moment, we have one related to our account on TradingView, and we use that. Regarding that, here I can show execution effectively is already unconfigured, and we will see that I think that here there are many things I left from the past. Yes, as you can see, when we have something like this buy sell, you have the order ID, which is virtual, but it could be useful if you use a broker. The operation, if you go for status or filled or cancelled, just like in Binance when you do something like this, the fill price. There are many details that looking at them you will find maybe useful or not. In example, the order ID, since it's not a real exchanger, I will get rid of it. The symbol is good because I know what I'm doing. The operation too. The type, why not? Generally, we will use limit and stop orders, but we will use the trading panel. So this is something I will show you in a few. Let's get rid of paper trading. Now it's with a green light, so we will see the operations effectively available. I have this long short. You can do this setting up the long short position with the stars, and it will add a preferenced little panel with this already available, so you can fast trading something. I would start with let's see, here we are on ADA. Why not? Let's start with ADA. So I have other things here that are related to a previous analysis. Since I want to trade now, I will get rid of them. On the layer panel, I will select everything and click on the eye to hide. So we will start from scratch. Now that we are completely without anything, removing indicators, I will add one indicator, which is the common basic Ichimoku cloud strategy. And this indicator has some colors that I don't like personally, so I will change the colors. First of all, the cloud colors. a little bit deeper because I want to see the clouds with their colors and not with that kind of, I don't know, sick dead shit, because it's transparent to enough. Then the lines, since are very important to be spotted, I want these lines to be the conversion line a little bit thicker, and the color is fine with this. But since it's something related to long and short position, I will leave the short when the baseline win in red. It's my strategy, just to spot fast. And for the long, I will use the red color because I prefer it. I can use this kind of red or red. I generally use this or this too. And well, this time to improve visibility, I will use this one because we are on a screen, on a shared screen, and maybe this color is better for everyone. So the conversion line, the baseline, I just increase the thickness. And then the legging span, I don't like it green, so I will set it orange. Regarding the leading A and B, which is related to the clouds, I leave as they are because I don't bother about these two lines. I just consider the colors. So in this case, we have the indicator set up. Now, here I see that there's no trading at the moment for some reasons. I will explain why. First of all, the cloud is signaling it is displaced. So I will look at this point of the cloud, and it is signaling that I'm going to consider a long position. So long position has to be confirmed by the green, the conversion line red, the conversion line green and the baseline red in the opposite situation. So the green crossing up, this could be effectively, this green could be the valid long position. I will set an evidence like this green line and this red line should be inverted to take a long position. So in this case, it was a long, starting from here, more or less. We weren't present at that moment. So now we could have a short for this position of the lines, but the cloud is green. So at the moment, the indicator is signaling no action. The lagging span to take a long has to be up the price. So in the position here, it is low, under the price. We have to wait for another confirmation. So of four different indications that we have from this indicator or signals, we just have one, which is related to the color of the cloud. The second is not complying, the third nor. The fourth, which is the price, is inside the cloud, meaning no trade. So for this strategy, we cannot select a trade here. I want to keep to search a strategy to use Ichimoku cloud. I used 1 hour indicator. So now I will search for, let's say, I will go for 50 minutes to see if something changed. And effectively, here on 15-minute time frame on ADA, without having to change the asset, Ichimoku I would use just for you to write down on 1 hour, 15, 10, and maybe 5 minutes. But I can also use for 1 day. But 1 day trading means, in this case, in example, it's a long. But it needs confirmation here. This line should rebound on the cloud and the lagging span and go up. This is green, is good. This is the green crossing or already crossed over the red, so it's good. The price is up. Here we have a long possible position. So watching at this indicator now, I could, let's say, forecast that there are good options that if the price rebound at this level, I could also add a cloud resistance here because this cloud here is giving me two basic resistance points. The first one up and the second one here. And I can reduce the thickness here like this. I will have spotting up the resistances, two important lines, one on this point and the other one about here a little bit lower. It's important, why? Because if I come from here, you know that there are many techniques to spot the resistance and support points and so on. This is a thing that you could do when start trading on an asset using the Ichimoku cloud strategy, and is practically related to set up some lines that are useful also on other time frame. So here on daily, I have two lines, and I will take care of those lines for this long trade. We can do that weekly too. Why not? On the weekly side, we have nothing. At the moment, just basic. Don't trick. This is the line of the cloud, and here we are far from being interested. On weekly time frame, also is not confirming because we have green up, which is correct. The price is up, but the lagging span, the conversion line is the green one, is under the baseline since about 27, 26 of August. So here it's not a good idea to enter a long position on weekly time frame. We don't have support and resistance that are meaning for us, but we have those two lines that are here. That implies that maybe these two lines will cross after the resolution of this critical point that we saw and we have here on the daily time frame. If I want to go for a daily trade, I could risk here. Why risk? Because generally on the lagging span performing this kind of, let's say, move, you should wait for the confirmation. So for this line to rebound or to go up like this move, like a zigzag upwards. But I will show you how to set up a trade. First, just using the Ichimoku indicator for stop loss and for the long. And then we will tune up the trade with the average true range because it will be otherwise too extended and too risky and maybe too long. But let's say that we want a long position and we are here on this point where we are now. We are not considering studying the entry, but why not? Let's study the entry. When you want to study the entry, you have to consider that with Fibonacci retracement, this practical tool is just the only thing that we will go into consider to enter a trade. No many other things. So in the case of an entry, you have the candle, which is a red candle, and it's a good option to enter a trade, because generally if we want to go long, you will try to enter the red candle, not trading the green one. Although it's a philosophy. You can also take the trade when going up. You can look at RSI, but it will be too complex now to have a trading system. We are going just to consider the Ichimoku cloud. As time goes by, we will add complexity and we will see that we need more indicators like the moving averages and so on. For the moment, just studying the entry and the Ichimoku cloud. Why I retraced the length of this candle here? Because I'm interested in entry a position. It was correct from 0 to 1 up to enter a position, the reverse, from 0 to down, because you need to spot one, let's say, is here. The number one is the maximum extension of the candle from week to week. So we are interested in entry a trade in the area that is included from 0.38, but possibly lower, down to this one, the 0.61 and 0.786. Why? Because these are named the golden ratio level. If I want to do a rectangle just for you to spot the real space, I would enter a trade always in this space. Always, of course, here, but it's risky to enter so low because it could be the next candle could be red, so I should wait for confirmation. After this candle, or on this candle, risking a little bit the entry, I should enter always on this area. Here I removed on Fibonacci the classical 0.5, which is not a Fibonacci number, but you can consider the 0.5 as the limit of, let's say, something like the area separating the 0.6 from the 0.3. So in this case, I will enter my trade just on this area. I can set limit orders and so on, because I'm interested in the golden ratio area or the institutional area. It's called this way because generally institutions are trading this level. I mean, this kind of wick. So this is the most uh, interesting part to enter a trade on a candle, and it value the consideration is valuable also for 1 minute trading, not just for one day like this. Always consider that a little retracement on the candle can give you the perfect entry point and range of price that you need to enter a trade. So in this case, I would consider two price labels. Why not? We can do this. One here and the other one here for this candle. So these are my limit orders in this case. Once I do that, I can get rid of these two tools from TradingView, and also why not remove the rectangle, which is useless too. But I have the two levels. So on this candle, I would be interested on these two levels. Since I have a day, I don't have to bother about being in a hurry to investigate the entry. And also, here we have the perfect entry for a long, but we will risk the long because here we don't have the confirmation. So to set up this long, let's start. I will draw the long position and I will start using just the TradingView marker. I will set this, let's say here on this candle, and to position the correct stop loss using just the Ichimoku indications, not the other techniques that we will see, it's way better. I will set the stop loss here at the end of my cloud at this level. Sorry, at the same level of the candle, so here. As you can see here, where I set my stop loss, is where the cloud finish and the B line of the cloud is about at this level. So when the cloud ends here in this range, and depending on the candle, if it would have been this candle, I would have been setting the stop loss here. Once I have a stop loss, I have to decide where to take profit. Generally, this is called risk-reward ratio, and this is here. You can have from 1.5 to 2 and also more, but the more you go up, the more you will have to follow the trade, and take more risk to close a position. So our more, let's say 1.5, will be on a daily basis, and it's a long that you can imagine that is something very long because it's related to here the all-time high. This would be our trade set up like the Ichimoku theory said. So this will be our endpoint marker. This will be our stop loss. And we will have a very wide ranging trade for one day. But if you remember here on weekly, we were facing the condition that apart of having green, here we have this cross. So if these lines do not cross the effective behavior like they had here, we could avoid this trade. On a weekly time frame, you can see that everything is possible. Why not? But it's a new all-time high. So logically, we are attempting to trade something that is possible, but will take many time. Let's see, March 2022, about, I see, let's put that here, about March 2022, which is a long-term trade. It means that it can be done, but not that it's what we want to do. We could just add an order here, a limit order, to enter the trade, in example 1.7211. But remember that while on paper trading, you can do that and you will have infinite money to set limit orders. If you do this on real exchangers, until the order is filled, the money is locked there. So regarding spots. So what we can do? At the moment we spotted the trade and we could save everything. This we can group our trade components that are this one. We create a group on a right click from the layer menu. I will repeat the step for the guys that are not familiar with this. Generally, I don't have this menu. I go here. If it's not present because it's down, a little transparent arrow will appear. I will go down, it's the last one, and I will select the object tree. At this point, the first entries will be related to what we did the last actions. We will leave the two horizontal lines that we spotted, but we will add to a group with a right click all of these components. We will rename the group to, in example, long trade at ATH, and we can put the target 2.4. And then after doing this, we can hide everything and start working on a lower time frame. This is something that you can do just to start working on many assets. You will see that doing this, you will not FOMO because you will search the trade perfectly. Now we are just using one indicator. I plan to, one strategy. I plan to teach you about 5 strategies. So you will have so much work here, and why not setting here the Ichi. Long trade ATH 202.4. Let's use this underscore Ichi. We will call the Ichimoku strategy Ichi1. So when I go here, I see the name, or maybe we can use another convention, which is LT, just to have this easily to spot. LT 24 long trade, objective 24 Ichi. It will be easier to spot. As you can see, you will see all the name. So we will use long trade or average trade or short trade, which are not shorts or long, but they are in time, terms of time. Everyone can choose, in example, D. Let's accept suggestions too. LTD, daily, 2-4 Ichi. You will find a nice combo of letters, and I will accept your suggestions because generally don't put names and I'm very disordered. But when you have many assets, it's better to do that. So we did the retracement on this candle with this Fibonacci. So this retracement is on the candle that is related to our current trade, and it's not really useful. I think that we will get rid of it. But at the moment, there are many things to clean up, let's say. No, this is an old investigation that I did. So at this point, we have a trade on a daily basis. Let's go now to 1 hour. You can go this and do this on a 4 hour, on a 12, whatever. For exercise, we are not using all of this. Here, I already saw that it's not possible to have a trade because the baseline is crossing over the conversion line. So I don't want to long not confirm it. Let's go to 15 minutes. To 15 minutes, I have short position, but the line here, the conversion line, is crossing over the baseline. So this will be not a short, but a possible new long, which is in line with our daily strategy, but not possible to go long here or short like the cloud suggests. So let's go for the final part to the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes is effectively a long. And this is a perfect case scenario because you can see that we will go long here and place the trade. We have the green area, which is signaling a long. We are way up those two resistances that we marked in the daily part. We have this line that is the baseline that has to be up respectively to this baseline. Is confirmed. The lagging span is exactly crossing at this point. I mean now the cloud. I will not wait for confirmation, but I will not trade green candle. I need 1 minute 24 seconds to have a next candle. So I will start, let's say, positioning the indicator for the long position here about, and I will start using the Ichimoku cloud strategy for entry and stop loss, considering that at about here I will have the stop loss here, and now is 0.28. I will change the reward ratio to 1.5, as I said earlier, our risk reward ratio. So I have my targets. I have to wait 37 seconds now. I will not retrace at this point the candle yet because I want to see the next one. But we are near the interesting point. So now let's see how we open the next candle. We could also enter here. Why not? Since it's a green candle, I would wait for the next one, because if the next one closes red, the line here, the lagging span, will go until it goes down. It's not bad, but you can see it's red, so it's not bad. I can set a limit order. Right click, create limit order. This will appear only if you have paper trading active. A new panel will appear here. We have to buy. We know that our entry point is around this one, 1.7766. So why not putting directly the order here? We will do this way. Now I get rid of this panel and I have my order. You can see that since we positioned the marker, I already have the take profit and the stop loss in the position related to the order. The order has been filled right now because we have modified and executed order, and now we can have a trade which is starting correctly. As you can see, we are earning $1. I don't remember. Another point is to be honest, because I think that paper trading is cheating us on the limit, and I don't know how much he traded, but this way, well, this time it will be nice, but I think that we price quantity, we bought 341 ADA, which is quite correct. 341 is the price, okay. As you can see, the Trader Journal is very useful because this is what you did. So call to place limit order to buy 341 shares of symbol Binance ADA. We know that it's about here. So the price is 1.7 with stop loss and everything. So we have the data. Now the order is acting, it's working. And since we have the positions with the stop loss and the take profit, we have the buy on the orders that we already filled and the working orders that are both working. The one is the stop loss here and the other one is the trade. Now this order is on 5 minutes and you can see here that it's very high. So I'm using the Ichimoku. We are on a simulator, so we can fail a trade. It's not a problem. But effectively, this is a wide range of trading. And if we check this trade on 15 minutes, in example, just to see where we want to reach our goal, let's put this line here with a green color, just a temporary marker to see where we are going to effectively have the trade, in example daily, just to see where are we going to point. Well, on a daily base, you can see that our trade is range expanded, but not so hard like the all-time high that we have here. So it's not bad. Why to consider to retune it necessarily? It's a 5 minutes trade. So what can we do? We can learn a new technique of identifying stop loss and ranges for the trade using an indicator that we will use for many other cases. Very important is the average true range. This is something that is related to the real range of the price. And I will not go in the theory of this indicator now, but I will show you how to use it. So let's consider that when we enter the trade, the average true range, we can reduce it because we are just interested in this red number. So this candle, when we enter the trade, had a value of 0.019. I think that you see it, it's here. I will mark it for you. I'm not familiar with this tool, but here is the number that we are interested. And we have to position on the current candle. So at this level, we will have the line with the marker. I think that we can also put a vertical line. I'm not sure, but let's experience if it can be done. Yes, if you put the line here, but this is not our real line because we have to be honest and to set it on the candle we entered the trade. So putting the line vertical here, it will match the ATR that we are interested, and we get, when we get out, it will mark 0.0113. No, useless. So no matter of this line, just consider that you have to read this number. Once you read this number, you can call a calculator of Windows or Linux if you have one, and set the 0.0119, which was that number, and there's a formula that consider 1, 2, or 3 ATR. We will always use 3 because it's the safer stop loss. But maybe when having one decimal on the price or ATR that is separating the price from the real integer number, we should consider also the 4 and 5. I will do pragmatically the 3. So I will multiply this for 3, and this number I will subtract from the entry price here. That was 1.777. Not perfectly, but maybe. So I will do the minus 1.777. And this will give me 17413, which is the number where I will go to take my stop loss, my real one. And I will change the strategy from Ichimoku because I want to be a little bit, let's say, sure that this will work. So when you have the order here, I don't remember how to hide them, but this will not mark as the top. So possibly you have to move this one too. Recalling the calculator, 17413. Let's put 174. Okay, let's do this and go for coordinates. 13. So I have to go here to set my stop loss. You can see now that the trade changed. So I want to check my indicator because I don't want to get out of a trade that is possibly good. I want to stay in this trade. Effectively, although the candle is red and the price is going down, there are no reasons at the moment to exit this trade because it's still green. We have still the confirmation here of the green line above the red one. We have still the price that is upper the cloud here, and we are still the lagging span upper the cloud. And another thing to remember is that you would exit this trade if this lagging span start crossing the price here. So you just have to remember that you have to consider these moments like this cloud, like we are now. It's shifted some position ahead, and this one is shifted some position behind. But everything is matching this moment. So we will leave this trade. We know that I will set a marker here, but I will not change my stop loss and my take profit because I want to show you how the indicator works and how it would have been using the ATR. So obviously using the ATR, if we set another marker here just to see how it will be with this ATR and the risk management of 1.5, which is about here, I would take profit at this level. So it's about 18326, which is way lower than where we are taking profit. But we can also decide that we use the ATR and we use a risk-reward ratio of 2. So let's see how much it would be different. Always lower than the pragmatic Ichimoku only strategy, but way better than the previous one. So we can go and leave this indicator or marker here for the future when we will go to check the result of this trade. This is 5 minutes, so maybe let's see that in a couple of hours we will have something related to this trade that is very interesting to check. So now we have a trade. It is running. If it was on Binance, it was running there, and we cannot look at this trade constantly. We can do something, setting some alarms, because I'm interested in knowing that the price should never go under this hypothetical line. Why? Because I said you that a trick or a hint is that this orange line should stay always above the price line. So I can estimate that falling down here, it will be something like an alarm to go here and think about stopping the trade before reaching the stop loss. But it's a way to follow the trade. I think that for the moment, we will just use the strategies as they are, eventually explaining the tuning with the ATR, but not acting on experience-based trades and removal of stop losses and take profits and so on. What we will do is that if the trade reaches this level, or also the other one, which is not here, but I will copy paste another one just to have the other ratio of the trade to what I said it was the 1.5 related to the ATR. So I will move this one here for the 1.5. Let's check. We are very strict. Okay, 1.5. And I will leave this as markers for us when we will go to check the trade and the results and the indicator, Ichimoku in this case, behavior. Obviously, this is why, because when we do this on an asset, and it's the first time that we do, we don't know the real asset behavior. The price has one decimal, as you can see, it is 1.7, so we had a range on the ATR that was 0.0, very low numbers. And sometimes the indicators could behave in different ways depending on the asset. But the strategy is quite always the same. So we remember that we are on 5 minutes. We take out again our helper here, our layer indicate layer object 3, it's named, and we select with shift from one to the other all the components that we added for this strategy, the price marker and the three positions. Right click, create a group of drawings. I will name it current trade. Why not? 5 means current because it's acting. And I will leave it here. Removing it, no. We will leave that on the screen. This is the horizontal line related to the trade. So I drag and drop in this folder because it's related to my trade. And this was the previous trade. These are the two red lines. I could call, why not? We can have another folder, create group of drawings, and we know we call this minor supports resistance, minor sub price. And we hide them because it's not so interesting to see. Now we have a zoom, we go for auto. I'm not using the log scale because it's useless. We are not on time researching a long-term data on the asset. And one thing that I have to finish and be sure about, okay, it's everything perfect. We leave here everything, like the indicators as we set them. I'm maybe too paranoid on this, but it's better that you do this, because it's why I'm doing these stupid moves of the lines, because I'm losing time. Losing time is not losing trade. So I don't want to look at where the candle is. It's a brain control method to trade without bothering about the effective current result of the trade. So I'm just playing with these lines to get the perfect position. I could also double click and set the coordinates here, but no problem. I will leave that as it is. So at this point, we have a trade on ADA. We will look at that later, and we will go for another asset, of course.